Hey, thank you for joining us for another episode of God's Glory and Men's Real Stories. As always, you're in for a treat in a community that I hope that you can consider your own. I hope that you can not only feel seen and understood as you listen to the stories that you hear today, but I hope that you can sit back and relax. And notice that I say relax because I want you to be able to truly feel God's love and see God's glory in these men's real stories, all right? So, as always, I got a special guest, and this guest, we were just laughing because I was like, it's funny how I meet some of my guests like 10 minutes before this podcast starts. I mean, like officially meet them. Like I, if somebody had told me I'd have been jumping in men's DMs left and right, like in the year 2022, 2023, I'd have laughed and be like, I don't plan on going into sales, and I'd have no desire to be in another man's DMs, but that's exactly where he has me, in other men's DMs and comments. And it's funny how a conversation that turns into, or not even really a conversation, just a quick comment of, hey, brother, your story truly inspired me, turns into like, let's do something. Let's get together and let's put down, let's get your conversation out there. Let's get your story out there. So on today's episode, with no further ado, I want to welcome and thank my brother welcome my brother, Martin Jones II.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
it's
awesome,
pleasure,
man. Yeah,
pleasure,
yeah.
Man. We just met. Feel like we've been kicking it, for years. You feel me? So
right. And that's how it's funny how that is. As men, we can kick it when we talk about football teams and different things, but sometimes, we sit down and we just like, wow, we both got really, really inspiring stories that are very similar.
Yeah.
And it took both of us to sit down to realize, so wait, you too?
Right.
Bro, like, that's crazy. Like, was your mama my mama? Because, like,
was
she...
cousins?
Right. Like, we might have to look back at that later on.
Black people, we all...
we all family somewhere along the way. So, wait, they live where?
Right. Oh,
okay.
My last cousin, first cousin, stay over there.
Right. Exactly. So, go ahead and tell the listeners a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, man. So my name is Martin Jones II, like you just introduced, and from Cincinnati, Ohio, born and raised. And I graduated high school in 2014. I got two younger brothers, and once I graduated, before I go there, basketball. I've been playing basketball my whole life. My dad played college basketball. I'm playing basketball all throughout my life. So when I graduated high school, I went to North Carolina A&T State University in Greensboro, and started playing for the first 3 years of my life. And my time throughout there was really where I was like born. I was in Cincinnati. It was more like, don't do this, don't do that. And then once I left, Ohio, it was like, okay, this is the real Martin Jones. And that's when really my life started to sprout. And, from there, my life really changed. I know we'll go into more in depth.
Yeah. But, I love how you said the real.
The real. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, okay, this is who you are. And I feel like when I was growing up, it was like, let me be this person for my parents.
Right.
Because this is like the family I grew up in.
Right.
But when I left, I'm like, got to discover like, oh, this is you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. That's interesting how you say that because, like you, once again, when I went to college, I reinvented myself too. I stepped out. A matter of fact, I went from being Robbie to Rob.
Okay.
And
that Rob. On there,
I changed it. I grew up. And it's funny because when I hear people call me Robbie, I'm like, you had to have grown up with me because no grown adult calls me Robbie anymore. But yeah, no. You as you said, you find the real you. I found the new version of me in college. I reinvented myself.
Yeah.
It wasn't, as I would say now, it wasn't who I really am or who I really was, but it was the version I was ready to play at that time when I went off to college, because it was like, okay, what do y'all need? What do y'all want? Who do I need to be?
Yeah.
Got it. And go.
Right. Yeah. That's how it is.
Yeah.
So I just think in my life, and for a lot of men, we may go through periods of our lives where we see on TV, like, okay, the athlete version or the rapper version.
Right.
Or the drug dealer, and that's what we look to, a lot of black men, and that's like, oh, that's what I have to be.
Right.
When you get exposed to different things, you're like, oh, wait, hold up. So I can be this person.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? It's
right.
like a rediscovery.
And you're right, because it's almost like they give us a few options. It's either rapper, basketball player, athlete, or something. And it's like, okay, well, that's what you got to look up to. And it's like, so you choose which one you want to do. You know, and when did you grow up?
95, I was born in 95.
95. Okay. So you were a little behind me, but regardless, the picture didn't change. We still had those selective choices, and it was like, if you want to be successful now don't get me wrong, you can
make
do
money.
Right.
Athlete or rapper.
That's very true.
Yeah.
So I guess jump into, like you said, you went off to college, and it kind of like at that point you got to know the real you, and who was the real you?
Man, I had to find the real me by almost dying. Like I said, I went to A&T to play basketball, right? So that spring, we're doing spring workouts and everything, and we got a new coach. So got a new coach, we're doing workouts, and, you know, it's going well. And then the coach brings me in the office, and he's like, okay, you're not going to be on scholarship next year.
Ooh.
And I'm like, okay. I'm just like sitting back. I'm like, nah, he just playing. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not happening right now. And then he starts breaking it down and everything. And then he's like, yeah, we're going in a different direction. And I think a lot of people don't realize, like, scholarships are a yearly basis.
Right.
You know, it's not, you might sign a 4-year scholarship, you know, to a school, but it's like yearly. So if you're not doing your thing, you know, they might bring somebody in, or they might, you know what I'm saying, just, you never know.
Right.
But to make it long story very short, I went back to my dorm room and took about 20 to 30 pills, like everything that was in my room. And
wow.
I was just so, I think in that moment of my life, I was at a point to where I'm like, okay, my parents not gonna be able to pay for it. I'm 8 hours away from home. I'm only seeing in the moment. I'm not seeing like, yo, you got so much more ahead of you. I'm just seeing, oh, you can't play basketball, the thing that you've been doing for 15 plus years.
Right.
Your life is over.
Right. So is it fair to say, and I think you already answered this, but it's fair to say that basketball was your identity, and you said your dad played it, so it was almost like he was like, all right, son, so this is what we do. This is what I did. This is what I'm going to groom you to do. And so it became your identity in high school. It then became your identity in college, and then when they took your identity away,
it was like,
all right, well,
like, who am I?
Who am I now? You gave me nothing to, you almost set me up to where I don't know who I am. Yeah. So, like, what do I do now without an identity?
Yeah. And this, man, I got some news today that was just crazy, the timing of this podcast. So a former teammate of mine who, I went to prep school in New Jersey for like a year. Mm-hmm. But former teammate, I got some news today that he actually committed suicide.
Wow.
And he graduated, stopped playing basketball, but it's just that identity piece as a black man. And once it gets stripped from you, from whatever it is, you know, not just being an athlete, but whatever it is, a lot of people they struggle in finding that thing that they're known for. Because you might be celebrating, you know, being an athlete or whatever, you know, you're so used to people, oh, congratulations, and, you know, the fans and all this stuff.
Right.
That's your thing. But once it gets stripped away, it's like, okay, now what's my greatness?
Right.
Like, what am I going to be known for now?
Right.
And a lot of people struggle with that.
Yeah, no, yes.
Like, a lot of people, man. So.
And it's not just in athletics, because I tell people, even jobs, like you could have been, and I'm not even talking about it could have been like you were like the top clerk, you know, clerk at the bank.
Yeah, real talk.
And I mean, like, people used to come by just to talk to you and put money into their account. And the second, like, they say, hey, look, we're having to lay off people, you go home with like, but wait, I'm a clerk though.
Right.
Like I'm the best clerk. Yeah. Like, so if I'm not a clerk anymore, who am I?
Yeah, who am I? Yeah.
And when you can't put an identity to who you are, in that moment, in that season of you recognizing that that's no longer who you are, they took that from you, you lose control. Like you don't feel like you have a purpose anymore. Yeah. And even though a lot of people don't even tap into their true purpose, if they give themselves a purpose that's taken from them, then it's like, all right, well, I'm purposeless out here now.
Yeah. And that's what I felt like in that season.
Right.
So I went to my room and I'm just taking pills. I'm like, man, I'm going to either end up 6 feet under or in the hospital bed. And all I can remember is it was just I woke up. I don't know if it was an hour later or hour, 3 hours, whatever it was, but I woke up and I opened my eyes. I'm just looking at the ceiling, and with like tears in my eyes, and I'm thinking, I'm like, am I in the hospital? Am I in heaven? Like, you know, where am I at?
Right.
And I was in my dorm room. Nothing happened to me. Didn't have to go to the doctor. Didn't have to go to the hospital. Like nothing.
Wow.
So from that very moment, and it was like when I opened my eyes, like I could see a light. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, God, this has to be you, because there's no way that I'll need to go to the emergency room or something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So from that very moment, that's when my life really changed. When I was like, okay.
Wow.
You're not playing with me.
Right,
you know
right.
You need me for something
right, because I shouldn't even still be here after what I just did.
Yeah, that shouldn't have even happened. So,
and the crazy thing is, you just said, you know, and you know, I'm gonna pray for his family and all. Yeah. The teammate you had just committed suicide, and think about it. There's so many people that succeed in doing something that. I won't say that it was the intentions they intentions they wanted to go, but they felt like they had no other choice. And being in that position, a lot of times people are like, but how do you get there? Why there? Like what made you get so far down that road to where you made that choice? And you know, I really talked about, like, with the whole Twitch boss thing that happened, you know, was it last year? Or was it
with Twitch?
Yeah.
Oh, I think that was last year.
Yeah, it was like, okay, yeah. So you know, that really shook me to my core, because I didn't know him, but like, it's just like, when you've been here before, you know, like, dang, man, like, you see the pictures of him with his family, and you're just like, I know that I know that look, and it looks like a perfectly happy guy with his family.
Right, got the money.
But, I'm happy. Everything looks great, right? Yeah. But yet, you know, like, man, he was going through some terrible fight in his mind at that time. He was going through a terrible fight, a dark fight in his mind, where he was fighting off things that people couldn't see on the outside.
That's real.
And people would never understand, like, even if you told them, like, but bro, like, really though? Like, really though? Yeah. Like it's a rough fight to get yourself out of where you are sitting at that time, and reconvincing yourself, oh no, it's gonna be okay, because everything is telling you it's not. And it doesn't matter. Yeah, no, I mean, because I mean, both me and you, we've been there where it was like, yes, I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to play anymore. I'm good. I'm ready to tap out. But that's where God can almost say, let me give you something to reconsider. Let me give you another perspective, because that's in there. Right. Because a lot of times we're looking at things from one perspective, and instead of like, okay, so what could you do with me in this moment right now? Like, what could you possibly do? Yeah. And so go ahead. I'm gonna let you tell me the rest, because I know my story. And I'm over here reminiscing like, wow. But
it's powerful. And I think that's the thing. We all have a story. So like, that's why for me, telling this story is like, I just tell it just say it, because like, you never know who can pick it up. Be like, man, I was feeling that last night. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's why I'm just like, So to just carry the story on. So that happened in my dorm room. Woke up. And I really just committed everything to God. I said, God, I give you this, I give you that. I gave up sex, I gave up drinking, I gave up smoking. It was just like instantly just gave it up. Right. And then he gave me the revelation to start this brand called God Made. Okay. So it started in my junior year. Yeah, God Made my junior year. And our platform was unlocking your God-given potential. So the biggest thing was like knowing that you have everything that you need inside of you. You just gotta find your key to unlock it.
I love that.
So we did first drop. We did 25 shirts, and then I just put it on Instagram. I was like, man, I ain't gonna buy these shirts. You know what I'm saying? I'm just selling shirts. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just like, look, let's try something different. I ain't playing basketball no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need some money. You know what I'm saying? So we did that in the student center. I said, hey, look. Selling these shirts, man, in 2 hours they were gone.
Wow.
Like, I know, and it was random. I'm just like, look, support a brother, you know what I'm saying? Just started a brand. Right. They were gone. So really, I started this, you know, refunneling the money and then doing more shirts and more shirts. And it got to a point to where when I graduated, we had 65 interns and ambassadors, like from different colleges around like North Carolina, Virginia, some in like Atlanta, Florida, just like all supporting the brand.
What?
And like we would hold events on campus that would sell out. We would have like performers and like our fashion shows. They would always sell out. So it was just this big hype like every single year that we did. But it's so crazy how God will get you to a point and be like, wait, hold up. You're not including me on this.
Oh, okay.
So like that's where the story turns, because I do all this on campus. And I'm like, oh, we about to do it big. Like I found my thing. Man, I graduate. And then I start staying in my girl's apartment for like 3 months. Not making no money. I'm doing the brand. I'm just like, yeah, buy this shirt. But it's not selling at all. Like nothing. Mind you, go from like selling out on campus. It's hot. Everybody wants it. I graduate.
Right.
I'm about to do this full time. I don't get a job. I'm staying with my girl, not making no money. I'm just trying to sell shirts again. It's not working. Right. And it was just weird to like go from here to there. So I just stopped doing it. And I just started, my degree was in construction. So I got a job, moved to Tampa, started working in construction. And I just left it alone. I said, man, I ain't doing this no more. Right. So I moved to Tampa. I started doing like trading and other stuff like that. But he convicted me, man, and said, because you didn't let my people eat, I'm not going to let you sleep. Oh. So it was a point, it was like 3 weeks where I just couldn't sleep. Because he kept reminding me about God made and the purpose of it and everything. And he's like, I'm not going to let you sleep because you took my people's food away. Wow. And, of course, there was stuff in there that happened in between. But that's, like, the biggest reason why I rebranded, to God and Company and brought something back to the world. Because, yeah, man, it was... Wow. It was something.
Wow. So would you say that in all that, like even with the conviction, because a lot of times we get to a point where we feel ourselves. We get back out here and God picks us up and dusts us off and we start feeling ourselves and we start realizing, wow, God, like you can, like, wow, like I didn't know you had, you didn't have the strength to pull me along and allow me to be able to do these things with the gifts you gave me that I'm tapping into now. Yeah. And we almost like kind of forget about them slowly sometimes. And that like, okay, well, yeah, I'm going to get to you like prayer. Yeah, I'm going to get back to you.
Church.
Yeah, church. I'm going to get back to that. And we lose like sight on what he brought us through and what he brought us into to where we get all the way down here. And now we're just kind of like, yeah, God, I'm going to get back to you. And I honestly, I did the same thing where, I allowed him to be able to brush me off, pick me up. Yeah. And then I was like, all right, God, I'm going to take it from here. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Good looking out for that. Yeah. I appreciate you. I'm going to get back to you, though. Yeah. Like, and forget that everything is about our relationship with him and not about just him being there when we need him. Because we missed that whole moment of like, I want a relationship with you. I didn't brush you off just to kind of like set you out and just let you go and walk on your own. No, I want to walk with you. Like we're going to do this. We're business partners now. Yeah. We're life partners now, and I should be your soul partner along with all the other partnerships you may pick up along the way. But we kind of like just we lose sight of that partnership and we start to like pick up all these other ones and so like that kind of sounds vaguely familiar in that like like it takes us realizing oh man I left you behind. I ran off from you to realize okay all right God, like here I am and I repent for that. Like I was wrong. I tried to do this on my own once again. Here I
am trying to just make something work.
Right. And I realized like without you, like I'm sitting over here like you know what? It's crazy. It's almost like when disciples after Jesus died, the disciples went back to fishing again, right? And think about it. They were back in the same boat. Throwing the same nets and getting nothing, like literally getting nothing. And getting nothing. And all of a sudden, right. And all of a sudden, God comes back. He's on the beach, and he's like, "Hey, look, throw your nets on the right side." And they like, okay, like I'm surprised none of them were like, that's deja vu, like that's weird. Somebody came into, and all of a sudden their nets can't even gather all the fish again for the second time, and they realize like, wow, so like this is what it's like walking with Jesus. This is what it's like walking on our own. Like we out here in this boat, we getting the same results. Nothing. We end up very empty, and it's like, yo, like how did we end up here again? And it's that's so deep on like that's so many of our stories.
Yeah, it is.
And it's almost like he has to step back into our story to remind us in that empty place again, where it's like you forgot that I have a plan for you. And I'm the one that initially gave you that plan with the gifts I'd already given you. And so it's like, what's up? Like we you gonna do this with me, or you just gonna keep running this on your own? You gonna run this play on your own? Like, how you gonna do this? And so no, that's a real testimony and story to so many people, and that have done the exact thing. Like allowed the community of the church, allow God's grace to like piece them back together. Help me back through this, Lord. Like help me back up. I lost sight of you. And then here we are. So tell me how, you said you rebranded God and Company now.
God and Company,
God and Company. Yeah. So what's it look like now? He's got you throwing your nets on the other side. How's it looking for you?
Like before I get into that, I want to add something to what you said.
Okay,
On top of that. But I think the thing that I had to do was like marry the flesh to my purpose. And I think a lot of times, like, I promise you, I will give this thing up like with the quickness if God allowed me to.
Right.
But I think we don't realize like, he put the purpose here first, and he put us into the purpose.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like a lot of times when you said going back to the past, a lot of times what we'll do is like we'll be in this position to where we're like, nah, that's too much sacrifice. Do I want to get that up? Nah. So we just go back to like what's coming.
Right. Oh yeah.
So like, that's what I was like. That's what God made was so stressful to me, because I'm in college and I'm having to like push out God. And I just became a Kappa. I just crossed and everything.
Hold up, wait a minute.
So playing basketball, all these things. So
look, check this out now. Like I just said, like earlier, like I just met him like officially 10 minutes ago, and he just let me know that we in the same fraternity. We didn't even know that. We didn't know that. We didn't know none of this. Like I'm just getting this piece. Like here, Kappa, like. Bruh. That's crazy.
That's wild.
That is. The plot thickens. It continues to get crazier. Like, whoa. And we already were talking about how similar our stories were. And it's like, crazy. This is pretty wild. Like, but like, that's wild. A-new, right?
A-new.
A-E.
Word.
Yeah. We'll get back to that later now. We'll get back to that later. Crazy. But that's really wild. But super wild. That kind of like took my mind like, what? Okay, so
we talking about marrying the purpose.
Right.
So man, that's crazy. So so what I feel like I did was like I had to marry like who Martin Jones was, like the flesh, to who God created me to be.
Right.
And I think once I did that, that's when I was like, okay, now I'm ready for God and Company. But it was just that fall off where I was like, man, I ain't doing this no more.
Well, it's funny because even to speak to marrying the purpose with the flesh. Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna go ahead and reference the flesh real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, break that thing down.
Let me break it down. So as a college student. The flesh is already going crazy based on what you could not do. Yeah. Because we both had similar upbringings in that we were in the church and we could barely even look at a woman. Like, you're looking at her too long. Like, so here we are in college now. Yeah. So for the average college guy in a college, we're gonna tap into A&T in a little bit. At just an average college, it is a ratio of a number of women to men.
We were 15-1.
Now, yes, there you go. He done thrown the statistics out there. So there are 15 women to one man.
To one man.
Now, so one man. We're talking about an average man, right?
Break that thing down.
Now I'm gonna break it down a little bit further.
Yeah, break it down.
A Kappa man, a new. The ratio jumps like 30 to 1. I don't know where them 15 other women come from.
Yeah, probably triple.
But they are on you. The second you cross. And we could go down a long road of like why we choose, but yes, it is the flesh is something else in college because it is telling you, hey, look, we drinking tonight. Hey, look, we partying like this tonight. Hey, look, we doing this, we smoking this. Hey, look, these women are on you. They already told you they like you. They like you, and that is immediate signal of like,
okay,
well, we know what's about to happen. Like so. So yes, I don't know all of his story. He didn't have to give me all of it because I already know the story. But just know that the flesh, marrying the flesh to our purpose, or in my case, I had to, and I've been on a fast at the beginning of this year, and that fast was like almost like part 2 to me having to learn self-control, something I never had, because there was, why self-control? Like, what do I need to control myself for? I think I got myself under control. I'm not doing too many bad things, but I had a problem where I couldn't keep my eyes to myself or on my purpose. I'm constantly looking at women everywhere. And it doesn't help it. It doesn't help that they're looking back. So it's like, well, I mean, I was good when they weren't looking, but now they're looking back. And so like you're in that place where it's like, okay, God, like what you want me to do? Like what you want me to do? And what he wants you to do is he wants you to learn self-control. So like it took me these number of years to learn the importance of self-control and controlling things like never being a faithful guy, but learning that, you know what? I was never supposed to be going after every woman that looked at me or I looked at. And so, being able to, the second we can control and have self-control over our flesh, and that's for whatever it may be, whatever your choice, you can just fill in the blank, whatever that thing may have been that just kind of continuously held you. That is where you're at your most powerful. That's where God can truly use you because he knows that you're not going squirrel on him. Like squirrel, like, hey, come back over here. Come back over here. He's holding your attention now, like to focus on what his purpose and plan is for you. And so, like in college, it is hard. It is hard. And we added extra complexity by joining a fraternity. Man, look. And so And understand that complexity doesn't change when you get out of college. I don't want people to think, oh, well, yeah, so you got, no. You just become a grown man doing the same things. You out here. Different environment. Yeah, different environment. Yeah. Grown man doing the same things.
With a little bit more money in your pocket, too.
Exactly. so that adds even more
you was
of a problem.
Broke, but now you got a little bit of money in your pocket. So
tell me about it. Yeah, right. Tell me about it. And I'm pretty sure anybody listens to this episode, they were like, yeah, you was bad enough when you was broke. Right, so you can only imagine what it looks like when you do have money, when you get out here and you find a career or a job or whatever. So like dealing with our flesh, that like I said, like fasting and different things, it was a step in saying, okay, yes, I want to eat all of this stuff. I want, but I'm not. Oh man, listen to me, brother. Forget a buffet. Like living in a home with a family where everybody is just eating just normal food, and I'm sitting there like eating celery and carrots, and so y'all just go enjoy that Chick-fil-A. It's cool. I like my celery and carrots and my water, and I mean like going 21 days just eating fruits and vegetables. That took me to a whole nother level of learning how to practice self-control because I already started 2022 with moving into a level of self-control where I divorced my flesh when it came to like things like pornography. Like I hadn't looked at or dealt with any pornography since 2021.
That's a whole topic, boy.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But yeah, right.
That's
right.
That's a topic.
It is. It is. It really is. Not going after, other pleasures like chasing after women. I've literally divorced all of that to be able to focus on what God called me to do, but I had to die to myself. And that's what a lot of us have to do. We have to die to ourselves.
Yeah.
And like you said, you know, sometimes it takes us getting to that place of like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
For us to be like, well, I didn't want to be that guy anyway.
Right.
So like, who do you want me to be?
Yeah.
And I'm going to be this guy because I was ready to lose. I didn't want that guy. I didn't want to play that guy anymore.
Yeah.
So who do you want me to be? Who do you need me to be? How do you see me, more importantly? Because that's what allowed me to be able to deal with the unforgiveness for myself. Because if you see me this way, but I can't see myself, then I need to keep looking in your mirror. Because in your mirror, I can see myself the way you see me. And I can allow myself to forgive myself for all that stuff that I've done, all the things that try to hang on to me and say, man, but you ain't crap.
Right.
You, bro, don't forget who you are.
Yeah.
Don't forget the things you did.
Man.
It's like,
Talk about it, bro. It's real.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
real talk.
It's hard to let go of that stuff, even if you don't do it anymore.
That thing be hanging, boy.
Yeah.
Hey, look, we riding for life. It's like,
Right.
You can't ride for me for
Right.
life.
It's like that monkey that holds onto you and asks, you know, and when you run track and they always be like, oh, that monkey jumped on him. Yeah, like it's strong on your back. Like, where you going? Where you going? And it's like, yo, like, wait a minute.
Yeah, man.
But
that's real. And I think like to add extra fire to the flame, I became celibate.
Okay.
My girl, right before I crossed.
Okay, wait. Okay, wait a minute.
Let's rewind this. So
let me break that down. Wait. You became celibate.
So like I had God is funny. Let me tell you.
oh man, I know. And it's not always like comical funny. Sometimes it's like
we got
you're hilarious.
Up. We got to square up.
Yeah.
Like the way you did this. It's very disrespectful.
On site, like, bro.
Right now,
okay, so I thought I was tripping when I said that one time. I was like on site, bro. Right when I see you, like right now.
Bro, like I got a girlfriend. I'm like, man, I'm gonna do this thing. I'm gonna try it out. I'm like, God, I'm gonna be celibate because like I was so addicted to sex. I had to have it almost every day to a point. And that's probably common for most men, but it's like.
What's common for most men?
Having sex like that. I don't know, but I was every single day I just had to have it. And it was it was bad. So I said, man, if I'm a really like, I'll tell you this, I was in the living room with my teammates and we were smoking in college. And I told them, I said, I think I want to be celibate. They all just busted out laughing.
Yep. I'd have been right there with them. How does that look? How does that even look?
They say, bro, last night I said, I know, but I just want more. Then they stopped laughing. They was like, wait, hold up. What'd you say? I said, bro, I just want more. Like, when does this stop? I said, I want a legacy. I want to build a legacy. I want a family. So, like, when does this stop? He was like, bro, you playing, bro. And from that day, God sent me my now wife, but girl back then, sent me her. And then I'm like, all right, I have a girlfriend, I'm going to be celibate.
Okay, so wait. Yeah, that's the part that you lost me on.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a girlfriend, but I'm going to be celibate.
Going to have a girlfriend, and I'm going to be celibate. Yeah.
But without like meeting her and like talking to her and being like, hey, look, I think we should be celibate. You decided on your own.
No. I met her, and it was like, she was celibate.
Oh, okay. I was like,
let me rewind that thing real quick.
Got it. Okay.
I met her, and
nice.
She was celibate.
Nice.
And I wasn't ready for her, so I was like, well, give me about 5 months to
right.
get right.
Like, let me dust this up. Like, wait a minute. Wrap my head around this.
Like, so I had to prepare for her. And, so once we became official, then I got online.
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 Oh, yeah.
Online.
Yeah.
And then I crossed, and then my profile there was like, hey, big dog, you gonna have to drop that girl, and you're not gonna be celibate. Like, they was trying to give me.
Oh, after you went over cross. Right.
No. This was.
They was trying to give you a new identity.
Matter of fact, this is in the process. They was like, bro, like, you gotta break up with your girl. This is 40, 50-year-old men. That have wives and have kids. All this. They're like, bro, break up with your girl. And I'm like, nah, I'm not.
Right.
They said, bro, you don't understand what's like coming for you once you cross. Like,
right.
Break up with your girl.
Ooh, well, you put them out here now. We out here now. We out here. Let's go. Go ahead. You know speak on it.
Like, and this is real because I still talk to them today. It's all love.
Right.
But that's what they said. And
But like you said, like I was saying, they were trying to give you a new identity. Like, okay, this is your new identity. You're not supposed to be a one woman man. You're not supposed to be a host man. You're not supposed to be celibate.
Enjoy the buffet that the world gives you.
In this fraternity, this is what we do.
Yeah.
And so and you're no better than us.
Right.
So this is what you're gonna do now. Go ahead and break up with her, so you can enjoy the fruits of what we do.
Yeah.
And that's real. That's I mean,
you
are speaking facts right now.
Yeah, that's real talk. So like once that happened, I was like, man, God, why would you send me her now? Like, can I just like enjoy this, enjoy it, then you send me her, and then, like I'm just going through all this in my head. I'm like,
right,
but that actually saved me. You know what I'm saying? From like all that stuff, because now I wouldn't have been married and where I am now. At that point, if I did all that stuff.
That's good.
And I wouldn't have been able to build the legacy that I am now if I would have listened to it and been in the moment to where I'm like, oh, I didn't see this in that moment. But I was able to see and have wisdom to know, like, no, you're not just living for now. You're living for, like, your future kids and your future kids and the legacy that you are praying for every day. You know what I'm saying? So,
hey, yeah, I know exactly.
Man, all my line brothers was like, bro, you are tripping. I said, hey, bro, if I could, I would, but I always knew that God had bigger for me.
And it's crazy because nobody else sees the picture. Nobody else will understand the picture, and they're not supposed to. It's like a vision.
Yeah,
God gives you a vision. He doesn't give everybody a vision. Mm-hmm. We don't all wake up like, so wait, you saw that last night too?
Right. Yeah.
No. So it's more of like this is where God's taking me, bro. You tripping? Yeah. And you're going to have those people.
Yeah.
Those people are going to be there to be like, you tripping. I mean, we all experience that because that's an attack on trying to pull you back to like the identity everybody wants you to have.
Yeah.
Like wait a minute, but this is what we do. This is what we doing.
This is who we are.
Like and now you trying to be different. Yeah. And what makes you better than us? And then they use every tactic.
That's the thing. Like,
what makes you better than us?
Better than me? I'm like, bruh, I'm not better than you. I'm just knowing what God's calling me to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. I got that with basketball. So I had my time. So when people became a Kappa, they was like, oh yeah, girls on me. They got the attention. But for me, I'm like, the attention doesn't like wow me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I did all I needed to do.
Right.
So when I became this, I was really about like, nah, I'm about to like level up as a man.
Right.
But they was like, nah, bro, I ain't on that. So like God, the way he aligns stuff is just crazy.
Oh,
if I didn't get that in basketball, though, guarantee you I would have, got that in Kappa.
And the crazier thing is that notice how he took. How basketball was, because I tell people all the time, sometimes we have to have things stripped from us to realize what our true identity is, because as long as we hold on to that, we're going to stay that. We're going to stay focused on that all day long. We're going to run that into the ground because and even when that's not God's plan for us, we're stuck on that identity. Yep. And so when things get stripped from us, it gives us an opportunity to be able to understand what his plan and his purpose is for us. Yeah. Because it's not, and I'm just curious, in those situations, did you ever have a talk with your parents about like what you were going through and how you were feeling, and as far as like feeling like I don't have anything anymore?
Oh, for sure, man. It felt like close to hell, man. It was because it was so isolating.
Right. Yeah.
Like, bro, I wouldn't. I'm grateful now because I'm reaping the rewards now. Mm-hmm. But going through that, of like, I had 44 other line brothers, and I'm the only one that's has a girl or that's celibate and that's like thinking beyond like college. So the way I was thinking was just like was just different. And in that time I'm running God Made, so I'm like doing all this stuff. So they throwing parties, you already know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I ain't got
new juice, all of that. Hey man, what you doing? I ain't over here right now, bro. Where you at?
Let me tell you this.
I don't even hear it.
I know you're familiar with Jiho, Greatest Homecoming.
Yes,
okay.
yeah.
So I had a pop-up shop. Man, I missed every single event on Jiho because I had like pop-up shops every single day that whole week for my brand. I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, I didn't go to no parties. Everybody thought I was losing it. They're like, bro, it's Jiho. Like, it was my first.
Like, it's the greatest homecoming on earth.
What are you doing?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's my first year on the yard. I didn't even go to the plot. I was so focused on what God had, what he like gave me.
Right.
And I think like people have to understand when you say yes to something, God doesn't wait.
Cool.
That man don't wait. He like, look, you running with me? Let's get it.
Hey, look, God, hey, look, can you give me like 5 months to work some things out? Absolutely not.
That
Absolutely not.
oh,
like he's not even gonna give you that blank stare. Like, what was that? Nothing.
That
Nothing.
man
at all.
don't wait at all. So he did not wait with me.
Yeah.
Like at all. Like he was like, oh, you said yes? Like now in college?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Cause you could have said yes when you was like down the line, but you said yes now.
Right.
Which is the ultimate sacrifice.
But okay, so hold on, no. Now see, I can scare people right there. But like, all right, so wait a minute then. So you telling me I can wait and hold my yes out till after? But you know what? The truth is God calls you in certain seasons. God has been calling you from one season to another. The problem is the distractions override the voice that of him calling you into certain things. I mean, God could literally call you at 7 and say, "Let's go."
That's real.
And the problem is we're just so distracted by different things or whatever it could be. It could just be like I am so angry at my mom for bringing me to church every day that my anger won't allow me to hear God's voice of what he's calling me into. And so he's been calling forever. He's been speaking behind all the distractions and all the voices and everything that you have going on and saying, "Hey, look, I'm here. I'll wait." I love how I always hear like God's a gentleman. So he's not going to yell
right
over everything that's going on. He's waiting for you to stop, slow down, and hear him. And normally it takes us breaking down to where we're just like we're sitting there in the silence of our breakdown. And that's when it's like, hey, somebody call me. Like that's when you realize like you have gotten to the end of everything else that was distracting you, and now God's like, let me use this opportunity. And the truth is that it takes God breaking us. Because that was a prayer I was reading a devotional on how it takes God breaking us sometimes for us to be able to understand that all this time he's been calling you, and he was never going to try to be louder than everything else. But now it's like, all right, so I'm gonna break you to where you have to where I have your undivided attention. And in having your undivided attention, we're gonna see, like you said, and it's rough, but sometimes I look back and I say I don't know if I would have ever slowed down if he hadn't broke me.
Man, look, I'd still be out there in them streets.
Yeah,
like real talk, and that's why I tell my boys, I'm like, man, I don't think I realized I didn't really choose this. Like this was like I chose this, but I didn't choose this. Like when you have, how can I put this? Let's just say you're a singer, right? And people are like, bro, you gotta sing. But you're like, man, I don't really want to sing. But you know you're naturally gifted. Like God created you on this earth
to be a worshiper.
Sing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To like be able to like minister with your voice.
Right.
But it's like if you never marry who you want to be to who God's created you to be, you'll never be fully who God created you to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you're like, man, nah, I just want to like, I just really just want to like skateboard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
where that come from?
Right. Like, but you're not good at it. But I just really want to do it. But you like, you'll go to the top if you just, sing.
Right.
And I think that's what I always tell people. I'm like, you really got to tap into just who you naturally are and what you gravitate towards. Because when you sit down and you're like, wait, my whole life I've been.
But hold on now. Like look at it this way though too. There's a lot of people that realize that God gave them a gift and they tap into it.
Yeah.
They just don't tap into it in the area that God wanted them to use it in.
That's true though.
Now think about it. There's a lot of people that have talents. They're doing it. They're doing awesome things with their talents. There are a lot of people that have athletic ability. There's a lot of people that have singing ability. There's a lot of people that are geniuses in certain areas.
Yeah.
And I heard this one time where a person was like, imagine who made the iPhone. Now whether he was a Christian or not.
Yeah.
He created something that would allow a lot of us to be able to pick up our phone and be able to read the Bible on it. So one way or another, God used his ability, his gifts to be able to create something out of it. And so God's going to create something out of all of what our gifts are. The question is, are you going to lean into what he created you for? Are you going to just lean into what what the gifts he gave you and use them however you want to? Because we truly can use our gifts for our own good, for our own pleasure, for what we want, instead of trying to understand what he wants with it. And like even with my brother that I grew up with, Mike Metcalf, he was talking about how like he had the athletic ability to be able to continue winning football, but like he ended up using that same athletic ability in NASCAR. Now, who would have thought? Especially for an African American man, who would have thought? But it's just wild how he used the gifts he gave him in an area that he never would have imagined. That's good. And that's so good. we as I hate to repeat myself sometimes because like I've seen that clip before, but we don't realize what his plans are for us with the things he's given us, and it's remarkable when you do, and you realize how many people he can touch and how many people he can bring to understand that, wow, like even in this guy's highest point, he's giving God the glory for what he did. Like, didn't you do that? But no, you don't realize that, like, no, I wish I could take the credit for this. This is all God. If it wasn't for God giving me this and then allowing me to pivot from where I was to where I'm at now, I don't know where I would be with my talents, with my gifts, and so no, man, that's so true. That's remarkable right there, dude.
That's so true. Like, it evolves. It doesn't look like one thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think we get so stuck in like that one thing. Like, I got to find my one thing, but it evolves. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't, you may never find that one thing. You might find like a multitude of things.
Well, think about it. And this is just my opinion. I don't think people find their thing because they don't ever ask the person who created them what their thing is. Like, and more, think about it. Never went back to say, okay, so like, help me understand like what you created me to do. Like they're too busy trying to find it on their own. They're looking at everybody else's handbook. Okay, like I like what they're doing right there. I think I could do that. Or no, I like what they're doing. That looks like that's getting a lot of fans. They making a lot of money. And so they never actually go back to their creator to say, what was your plan with me? What was your plan for me? Like what did I help me understand these talents that you gave me, and then what you plan on doing with these talents. And we're just too busy like allowing the world to kind of like distract us with like, well, maybe you could use your talent to do this. I could do that. Okay, I could do instead of like truly trying to understand what his plan was with that talent we have to say, got it. Wow. Okay. All right, let's do it then, God. Yeah. Let's like I'm on board. Yeah. And making that commitment. I call it an all-in commitment. What you call it? Sure. Because I love your terminology too of like what you said in the dorm room where you gave it I
don't even know what I said.
Oh, okay. We're just flowing. Hey, look, that's the beauty of this stuff. So you know it's not scripted. We not, but like just making that commitment to God to say I surrender. Yeah. I surrender. Like what you want to do with me. What you want to do with me, and in that surrender, that's where he's like, okay, like understand, you can have what they have, but it's going to be on my terms. It may not look like that. It may not be driving that. It may not be making all that. But I promise you, I'm going to bring you joy the whole way along.
And you can't buy joy.
Yeah. No, you can't. You can't. You can get all the stuff in the world and still not be fulfilled until you really understand. Like, wow, okay, so even in like the worst days, like today was a bad day, but I still feel joy. I still know he's with me along this way. Like, because I'm not just seeking happiness anymore. Yeah, you know, because happiness ended when that thing happened there. I'm not that happy anymore, but I still feel joy. Yeah. Like I'm still feeling joyful. Yeah, I know he's walking like, hey, look, even in the worst days, everything is going crazy, but I know like he's still walking with me now through this.
Man. And I think too, what my dad told me, because I literally was like out every weekend in the club. So I went from the club to when he told me that when I really committed to God, I called my dad. I'm like, I'm not doing this. He said, look, I don't even think you really got a choice. He just saved your life. So I said, how are people going to listen to me when I was just in the club with him? I was just smoking with him. Like, I was just doing like everything with him. Like, why would anybody listen to me?
Or more importantly, they're looking at you like, so you a Christian?
Right.
Oh, we can all do this? All right, well, sign me up then. I want to be a Christian too. We can smoke and go to the club. Sign me up, bro. Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm with it. Like,
Right. Right. So it does make us somewhat of an example because it almost, he convicts us to say, like, understand I didn't call you over to do that. I didn't. And the crazy thing about it is, I get it. And me and my son talk about this all the time. And that he'll say like, yeah, but Dad, but doesn't that take away a lot of the fun? Like, do I lose the fun factor? Like, I can't go party, I can't go do this. Like, I don't like. And I'm like, well, no. My journey. Don't look at my journey and be like your journey's gonna look like mine. God has a different journey for all of us. I used to look at my mom and dad's and used to be like, okay, I don't want to have nothing to do with God. Like based on what I'm seeing there. So I had to understand that my journey is different and what it's gonna look like and where God's gonna take me. He may say, hey, look, you got to stop smoking, but he may not tell me that same thing. So I'm gonna burn it down. Like, bro, I'm
sorry.
Sorry about that, bro. He didn't let me know that. No, it's truly where God takes you and what his plan is for you, and it's going to look different than the next person's. Don't expect just because you see that Christian in the club with you, so we can party as Christians. Like, well, look, that's their choice, and the beauty is God continues to give us a choice, right?
And I think he doesn't bless us off of just our good deeds. Like, he's not gonna bless us.
Tell him about it.
Because I opened the door for you today.
Right. Like, tell him about it.
Oh, God, open the door. Can you just send me something?
Like throw me a blessing.
Right.
What's up? Let's make this transactional. I want like I did that. I want something in return. Like we looking for a transactional relationship with God.
Yeah, and that's not how he operates.
Right.
So I think once I got that concept out of my mind, I was able to really like just be me.
Right.
In whatever arena.
Right.
But that honestly, my dad was like, man, look, God doesn't call it qualified. He literally qualifies. We gonna hey, look, we might have to make that like a line at this table, but because look, I know that's been on the table.
Yeah, but I love that line. I tell people every time I love that line because sometimes that makes you realize. So I don't got to be qualified for this.
I can be.
You can use me even without the qualifications, certifications, degree, all that. You can use me in that area.
I think can use you more.
Well, yeah,
because like people can just like, oh, wait, hold up, you. Oh yeah, bro.
Right. Like you. So how does that work? Like you don't even got to know. You're not even qualified to do that. How? So anybody can do that?
Right,
I mean, like you can try, but understand he called me into this. So whatever he called me into, then hey, look, I know that he is providing me exactly what I need. Even with this podcast, he called me into this. So he's going to provide me exactly what I need. And it was shaky in the beginning, but it's slowly ironing its way out. He letting me know, like, I called you into that. So that gives you a different level of confidence now. Like to say, God called me into this. So as long as I stay attentive to what he's doing and where he's leading me, hey, look, I'm exactly where he wants me.
And that's the thing, because as soon as you stop listening to him, bro, you be lost. You be like,
you get wondering, right. You out here completely lost.
So that's the special thing about God, is because like you always need him on the journey. It's like as soon as as soon as I get out of my routine, or I just like don't pray or journal or just whatever for like weeks, I'm like, what's going on? Like, am I okay?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
you feel a little lost almost.
Yeah, it's like
kind of like, God, I feel like I might have stepped away from you. I might have stepped away from you. You were walking on, and I kind of was like, okay. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's the thing where it's grace in it too, because he knows who you are. So it's like, if you miss a day or whatever, he's not gonna just like strike you down and be like, you going to hell. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
so good.
That's not how he operates. There's grace in that, and I think we don't factor the grace part in. Of what he gives us. It's not, you ain't gotta pay for it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's
already
factored in. He already knew what you were gonna do. He knew you were gonna do that. He knew you were gonna step away. He knew you were gonna forget about him for a second. He still kept pursuing you. Like, all right, come on back.
Come on back. I got you.
Unlike any relationship you could ever have with any other human.
Listen, man, you can't describe it.
No,
you're
right.
Can't describe it. And that point when you talked about with your son, it's like, I deal with that with my two little brothers. So I got one that lives in New York and one that's back in Ohio. But they're like, man, your transition was like crazy. I can't do that. But I tell them, I'm like, look, he'll take the taste buds out your mouth to where you don't even like really want to do that anymore.
Right. You know
what I'm saying?
Real facts.
Real quick. And I'm like, that's what you have to like pray for, and just like slowly, just but surely, like get to that point to where you're just like, man, why don't I really want to do this anymore?
Right.
Or like, why don't I hang out with that crowd anymore?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You don't really understand why, but it's just like you're just growing and evolving
right.
to who he really needs you to become.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the beautiful part about
it.
Because that's the ultimate goal.
Hey, you know what, like what y'all witnessing right now is crazy. Y'all witnessing a literally two brothers coming together that literally, like I said, we met online,
right,
and like already see like God's gonna use us in the city of Charlotte to do some wild stuff, and it's crazy how we sit down at the table for the first time, like a lot of times people think that I like sit down with these people and so this is what I normally ask, this is how this is gonna go. No, this is so organic, man. Like literally with no script, we just jump out here because. That's where the truth comes from. That's where the real comes from. I tell people, like I said, I like to consider this a safe space. And it's not a safe space until a person can feel safe enough to say, all right, well, I'm gonna share a little bit, like about myself that I may not be comfortable giving to everybody, but like let's see where this goes. And that's really where that's really where all of this was just built from, and that. We don't, as men, we don't do enough of, we do this from a standpoint of like, okay, we can talk about the money, we can talk about the women, we can talk about sports, but we can't talk about like how we're really doing, like how you really doing today.
That's real.
What's really going on?
That's real.
Like when we're at our bottom, like your friend, that's no longer with us, the fact that he didn't feel comfortable saying, I got some brothers I can reach out to and say, like I'm going through a rough time right now. I whatever happened, I feel like I have lost my way. I've lost my identity. I don't know how to get back. And bro, I'm just looking for somebody to not judge me or try to distract me, but maybe help me find my way back. And we need that dialogue where men can feel comfortable just saying, I need help. I need help right now.
Those words,
I need help,
bruh. I'm telling you. If we can make that a common thing, just as men, normalize
that.
Hey, bro,
I need help. Yeah,
like it's even for myself. Sometimes I'm just like I need, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get like that has to become normal because especially when you're a man that's over a household, like you gonna need help.
Yes. Like, no matter how strong we try to be, you gonna need help
to confide in. Just like I need help, like. It's not always financial. It's just like, bro, I just need to talk.
Y'all witnessing a community being built, man. I mean, this community was already built, but y'all watching this community grow right now, yo. I mean, and it's funny because I got a DM today from somebody who was just like, I love what you're doing in Charlotte, and I was like, I don't want this just to be a Charlotte thing. I want this to grow to where people can feel like no matter what community you're in, or even if you're in a somewhere where you don't have a community, where you don't have people around you, we are your community. We are your community. Jump in my DMs. Jump in the men that you see at this table DMs because they're not just here to open up and share their story without feeling as though another man can say, hey, look, bro, I resonate with your story. Man, like, can we talk about things? Most definitely. I don't think there's a man that's been at this table that would not say, bro, wait a minute, don't send nobody into my DMs and don't send nobody into my email or whatever it is, because I feel like every man sitting here has been through something to where they're like, I wish I had somebody maybe at that time to say, I wish I was comfortable enough to say, I need some help. So, bro, I'm so glad we was able to rap today. I feel like I only got a piece of your story. Like we were rap so much about so many different things. So
like a part two.
Hey, look, how many times we heard that shit? We got to do a part two. But this part two list, is getting long. We might have to make this a weekly podcast with these part twos. But no, bro, I definitely tell people as people's stories evolve, your story doesn't end until God calls you home. And so as long as your story is evolving, one day what you're going through now, what you're experiencing now, it's there's going to be an even better testimony in the next season that you're gonna be like, bro, I wish I had waited to come and tell you about this, because listen to me, let me tell you how God has used me in this space to just like blow up what I'm doing. And I thought that it was just to like really like get the local people, but bro, like my shirts are somewhere in India or in China, and it's bringing more people to God's attention, growing the kingdom, allowing people to recognize that God is the way, and God is the truth, and God is where their joy is in different things. So no, I'm excited, bro. I'm excited to make another brother in the city of Charlotte that I can like and this continues to grow, man, because we're gonna have to have a powwow or something one day. I'll get everybody together, man, because this is
that's the beautiful thing about what you're doing, is because you're bringing community together.
Yeah.
So it's so many people that you run across where you're like, man, if I never stepped out and did this, this wouldn't even be a thing.
Right.
So shout out to you, man.
Yeah, well, bro, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I appreciate God giving me the strength and the courage to knock on doors when everything in me, that flesh, is like, bro, you tripping, man. Ain't nobody want to be on your podcast, bro. Stop reaching out to people, man. I don't know men talk. You know they don't talk about things, man. But like that's why I feel like it's so important to pray before every episode, because I know God has a plan for this. Even if we're sitting there like, well, I don't want to talk about that. Nah, God has a way of being like, oh. Yep. What did I just say, bro? Yeah, we out here now, bro. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So, this has been a blessing, bro, and I definitely appreciate you coming and sitting down with me. I you know, and I definitely got to shout out. My brother bought me some gifts. Look. So hold on. Let me give him an opportunity to tell about his brand, because I know we talked all around it, but tell him a little bit about your brand, because he definitely brought me some gifts here. He brought me a mustard seed, and it says in it's small beginnings but big faith. That's me. I love that. And if you can see in there with the faith of a mustard seed, if you can see that seed in there, you can see that if your faith is as big as that mustard seed, it's unbelievable the amount of things God can do in your life if you just have that much faith. I love that. I appreciate that. That's definitely gonna go on my shelf over there. And you know, he brought me a postcard, because I'm gonna get some merchandise. I'm gonna get and you know, I support, so I'm gonna buy my shirt. But he bought me a card that he throws in with my stuff. So we definitely gonna put all his information down in the bio of all the clips, as well as this episode. So definitely tap in with him, and hopefully me and him can do some other things in the city. I was about to say it's just beginning, like we had no idea, man. Realize we brothers, we frat brothers, we brothers in the faith, we brothers, like we brothers out here. This has been awesome, man. I appreciate you coming on. You got any words you want to leave the audience with, or anything like that? Anything you want to?
Yeah, man. I really want to talk about that mustard seed thing, because one thing that always can get people like this discouraged or anything is the start. It's like, man, can I do this? Can I really like be global? And I think I love the mustard seed concept, and I did that at my launch party, because God always gives us things in seed form. This pastor last weekend, he said, God doesn't give you fruit for the seed; He gives you seed to bear. He gives you seed to bear the fruit. So it's like He doesn't give you like the pineapple first.
Right.
He gives you the seed for the pineapple.
Right.
He doesn't give you the podcast, the global podcast. He gives you the podcast to start in your house. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like, I'll tell anybody, like, everything that God's gonna give you is may look small, but the thing about a mustard seed, you put that in the ground for 2 weeks, it sprouts up. So you may think like, man, it's gonna take forever to grow. But you just put it in some dirt where it looks dirty. It looks like the consistency where I gotta do this today, I gotta do that today. But when that thing starts growing, your whole life has changed. You can start to eat from it. Right. So that's good. Like, don't be discouraged in the small beginnings. Right. That's really where you start evolving and becoming who you was called to be.
That's good. That's so true. That's so true.
I'm excited to see this podcast and you grow. And as soon as I seen it, I'm like, wow.
Yeah, no,
it got some oil on it, man.
Yeah, look, man. He anoints what he calls you into, bro. Even when you don't see it, even when you don't think it, you just like, all right, guy, you gonna have me looking crazy out here. But you know, it's crazy how you look back and you be like, Hey,
Yeah.
Hey, look, wait a minute. Is that something sprouting out the dirt? Wait a minute. Hold up. We got a leaf popping out.
Okay.
Oh, snap. we got 500 plus followers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see what's going to happen. So, small beginnings. One day I'm going to look back and be like, hey, I got 500 followers. One day I'm going to look back and be like, I remember in 2023, the day before Valentine's Day, I had 500 followers, man. And I was like, well, God, I'm just here to do whatever you call me to do and just see where it takes me. And now look at where we're at, and look at the community that we got, and look at the brothers who now feel safe to talk about things, who are finding themselves, who are finding their identity, who are finding their space, and I'm looking forward to what God's gonna do, man. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm excited already because I know my faith is already just saying I know God's going to do something great. Even if He has to allow me to say, okay, hey, look, I need you to step away and have your son sit here and do this, and that's going to be interesting too. But like, regardless, it's I know He has some great plans for this. So
eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I promise you that.
Yeah.
That's not me, God.
That's real.
Eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard.
Right. Like, that's real. Well, bro, like I said, I appreciate you coming on today. I want to thank you for saying yes. I want to thank you for coming over and sitting down with me, even though I was ready to throw you a link to do this remotely.
I was like, hold on, he in Charlotte.
Yeah. He in Charlotte. Wait, we in Charlotte. We both in Charlotte. Pull up.
Yeah, we pulling up.
But yeah, I want to thank all my listeners for listening today. I hope you enjoyed this one. I enjoyed it as always. I'm going to enjoy it. So if you guys don't enjoy it, I'm going to enjoy it. But and I know my brother enjoyed it, and I look forward to definitely tapping into what he's doing, as well as you guys, tap into his information. I'm gonna put it all out there. God and Company. Definitely go over and see what all the things that he's doing with his brand. Yeah. And as always, I appreciate you guys, love you guys, and we'll see you on the next episode. All right.
Sir.
Hey, we appreciate you listening today and hope that if you enjoyed the conversation and stories, you will subscribe and listen to past and future content. Feel free to comment, as we would love to read your comments and pray over all of our listeners. Also, please follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook at God's Glory and Men's Real Stories.
We understand as men how the thought of even facing your own story and the pain and hurt that come with that is a challenging task. But we don't want you to feel like you are all alone, because you are not. God has not forgotten you or left your side, and He loves you no matter what you have done. Your healing is important to Him, and we want you to have these free resources that already exist if you're considering giving up or need someone to talk to. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline number is 1-800-273-8255. If you need support but are not in crisis, consider reaching out to a warm line if you need to talk to someone. Speaking to someone on these calls is typically free and confidential, and run by people who understand what it's like to struggle with mental health. Find a local number by going to warmline.org.